Okay, step number 1 for quadratic regression. First, you're going to go to your home screen. From your home screen, click on the Spreadsheet button, okay? There's a picture of a spreadsheet at the bottom of the page. Do you guys see it? Click on the spreadsheet. Okay? Now, that's where you go first. Step number 2, you're going to name column A, X, and you're going to name column B, Y. So guys, write this down first before you do this in your calculator. I want you guys to write down the steps so that you always have them. Step number 3, you're going to enter in the data. So you guys are going to be given a table and you're going to enter the data. Step number 4, you're going to go to the menu, go to statistics, go to Stat Calc, and then click on Quadratic Regression. Statistics is number 4 on the menu. Stat Calc is number 1 on the menu, and Quadratic Regression is number 6 on the menu. So instead of all the scrolling, you can just click 416, and I'll show you how that looks. We're just writing the steps for now. Step number 5, you're going to make the X list, X, and the Y list, Y. And then they're going to give you the A, B, and C values. So plug values into the standard form, which is y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So let's just copy down the steps and then I'm going to walk you through it, okay? And if you ever need to clear your calculator, if you need to clear it, click on the home button. What's next? 2. Oh, menu. No, 2. Oh, 2, and then menu, and then C. Okay. So let's go ahead and follow the steps. You guys should click on the Add the Spreadsheet, and you guys should be on this screen, correct? Okay, so now we're going to rename column A and column B. Look at your notes. What are we going to rename it as? Yes. So guys, go up here to column A. I'm going to put an X there. Hit enter. I'm going to go over to column B. Put a Y there and hit enter. So that was step number 2, right? Okay, so we have already labeled column A and B as X and Y. Now we're going to enter the data. So guys, I'm going to do example 1 with you guys. So just so we know what we're talking about. Okay, we're going to do example 1. So it says an amusement park ride takes riders to the top of a tower and then drops them. The table shows the height H and the tower at the time T after the drop. Are we using T and H? We're using X and Y. If you want to, you can put T and H. It's up to you. I'm just using X and Y. So guys, we're going to enter in this data. We're going to enter in the values of this table, okay? So let's go back to the calculator. So let's go to our table. We're going to input those values. Does it start at 0? Okay, and then 0.5, 1, 1.5, and 2. Now go to the next column. Can you guys tell me what's paired with 0? 200. Okay, so it starts at 200. At half a second, what's the height of the ride? 164. Next. 120. Next. 68. Finally. 8. Okay. Now this is a mistake I see a lot of people do. Do not leave this box highlighted. Go ahead and press enter. We do not want to be in a value box for our next step. Okay, so go out of the box. Make sure this little blue highlight is in an empty box. Now we're going to go to the next step. Hit the menu button and go to statistics. you can either scroll down to statistics or you can just press the number 4. So I'll just hit the number 4. And then we want stats calculations, hit the number 1. And we're doing quadratic regression, that's at number 6. So either scroll down to number 6 or just click 6. And you should be here, okay? Now, looking at our next step, it says, make X list X and the Y list Y. So X list, if you press the center button on your calculator, it'll pull up a little drop down. You guys see that? Click on X and hit enter. So we renamed the X list X, and then go down to the next one, Y list. If you click the center button, it'll do the little drop down menu and go down to Y. That is what we labeled it. In the beginning, we labeled them column X and column Y. So that's what we're telling the calculator to do. And now we're going to click enter. And it'll take you to this page. Now notice, they give you the A, B, and C values. Okay? Let me show you. Okay, so this is your A value, -16. Your B value is -64, and your C value is 200. So if you wanted to put this in if you wanted to write the equation, it would be y equals -16x squared minus 64x plus 200. Okay? For example number 1, that is where you write your equation, the equation I just wrote. Okay, now it's asking how many seconds will it take the tower to reach the ground? Well, guys, what is the height when it's reaching the ground? 0. Okay, so let's go back to the calculator. So we're trying to answer question or part B now. So let's go back to the calculator. We're back at the calculator. Go ahead and click home. And let's look at what this looks like. Let's look at the graph. So guys, go to the picture of this graph. Right there, click on the picture of the graph. You should be on this screen. Now notice, the equation is blank. Hit the up button, and it'll show you the equation that we just had, okay? Now, yes, I see that it's -15.9999999. They rounded it to -16. Which is what we had, okay? So don't freak out. This is still the same equation. Now, we want to graph it. So go ahead and hit enter, and it graphs it for you. That is our graph. Now, just estimate roughly, where does it hit the ground according to this? 2. You guys see right here where it intersects at 2 on the x-axis? That's at 2 seconds, okay? So, if you want to trace the graph, to see for sure, everyone go to menu and go down to trace. That's at number 5. So go down to trace, hit enter, and then enter again. Okay, and just move it around. You have to move it left or right. Okay, so I'm going to move mine to the right, hit the right button. All the way down to the x-axis. If you click it too fast, it'll lag and then it'll go past what you want. Graph trace. So trace and then graph trace. And now you're going to move it left and right. So I'm going to move mine to the x-axis. So guys, at what time is it at 0? 2.06 seconds. Okay, so that's what you guys will write for part B. It says, how long will it take for the ride to hit the ground? It's 2.06 seconds.
So at its peak, that's the y-intercept?
Yes. So I know that this graph also has a negative side, but time starts at 0. So we're going to ignore the left side of the graph. Just pay attention to the y-axis onward. The y-axis and then to the right. So yes, the highest it is at the the y-intercept at 0, 200. Because that's at time 0 and it's at 200. And then as the ride begins, time goes on, but the height drops all the way to when it hits the ground at 2.06 seconds. All right, I'm gonna pause it here, and I want you guys to do the next example, and then we'll come back together. All right, so you guys requested this problem. This is example number 3, and they gave us this table. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to the calculator and enter in this table. All right, so we're gonna go to the spreadsheet. We need to label this column. Did y'all want S or X? X, okay. Enter, and then go down here. Y, it has my old information on there, but we'll enter in the new table. So guys, what are the X values? Can y'all read them?
-4.
-4, 2.
-2.
Oh, -2.
And 0.
Okay, 0,
2.
2,
4.
4. Okay, and then my next column, let me go over and enter in the data, okay?
1.48.
1.48,
0.6.
0.6, 0,
Negative.
negative 0.5,
Negative 1.5.
negative 1.5.
2.
2. All right, hit enter. Make sure that none of the numbers are boxed in that blue box there. Now we're gonna go to menu, statistics, stats calculations, and then go to quadratic regression. We're gonna change list, the X list to X, change the Y list. Oh, we're gonna go to the drop down menu and click on X. Then go to the drop down menu and then go down to Y. There we go. Hit enter. Okay, so they gave us the A, B, and C values. I want 4 numbers behind the decimal for our equation. Okay, so the first 4 numbers, 0.0032 is the A value. So write that down. This is what you should be writing for the equation. Let me write this for you. So it'll be Y equals, I want the first 4 decimal places. So negative 0.0032 X squared. This is my B value. I want the first 4 decimal places. So let's text this one. Oh, does it end there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Minus 0.355 X. And then this one, my C value. The first 4 numbers plus 0.3771.
0.
Oh, thank you. 0.03771. So I just need the 7. I don't need to worry about the 1. Thank you. So that is my equation. And it wants to know when the X value is -8, what is the Y value, correct? Okay. So either you can do this by hand by plugging in into your calculator a -8 into our equation. You could do that. Oh, sorry, that's a 5, negative. Oh, sorry, we want to plug in a -8.
Yeah.
So you can plug in a -8 into our equation and get your answer that way. Or we can just go ahead and look at the graph, okay? So here's one way, plugging in -8 for your X value and then finding the Y value. Or let's do it the other way. So let me clear this off. So click on the home button. Go to the picture of a graph. Go up, and that they have our equation right up there for us. Hit enter. It graphs it for us. Now I'm going to go to menu, trace, graph trace. And I want to know what the Y value is at -8. So let me go back to -8. So I think close to -8 is -8.1. So guys, what is the Y value? 2.7. Yep. So we can just put 2.7 seconds. All right.